But you have to start the podcast. Because it is. A lot of people are watching you, by the way. I saw a woman saying that, oh, Jagero, I like that voice. I wish I could drive through New York with you on my side.
I saw you.
I am polygamous, darling.
You should reach out and go to New York.
Oh, my God. I'm afraid of women, man. Going to New York and being at the mercy of a woman is not one of the best things you want for a nilotic man.
You think so?
Yeah, I think women can do those things. Can get from here, go to New York on an account of a man. But I think that as a man, I feel like I'm not covered. I'm pretty naked in that way. I don't want to be that. I have a feeling that men have more love for women than women have more love for men.
I can see how you mean.
Yeah.
I can see how you mean. What I think it is that when men love, it's real. Like it's the real deal.
Yeah.
When a man loves. But when a woman loves, it's loving for us is just the baseline. Like it's every other normal day for us.
Yeah.
So we can tweak it in different ways. But men, I think it's very hard for a man to love truly, but once they do without
because
fears,
I feel like if I'm going to New York to meet a woman, then she would not come and look for me at the train station or do this. She would want me to figure it out and meet her at her office.
I don't think so.
Yeah, but a man will not let you do that. Yeah. He will take the afternoon off, come and wait for you at the station and keep checking whether you are. I think men are just good caretakers.
You know what I think? I think it needs to be a woman who likes you. If a woman likes you, then all these debates we have about genders and about what a woman can do and can't do.
It's not really liking you that much. It's the idea that you can take care of yourself. You'll find your way. It's not really about love. Yeah. It's not really about liking you. But men often believe that it is important to go and collect a woman at the bus station, just like they would go and collect a kid. And that is why it's very interesting that when men say that women are babies, sometimes they don't even mean it in bad light.
Yeah.
They are sort of just projecting.
They're not infantilizing.
They're projecting how they would take care of a woman. And that is the comparison that they're doing. But anyway, you are on your periods, right?
Hi, everyone. Before I answer that, welcome back to another episode on Heartfelt with Bobbie. My guest is Jagero again. And today we are discussing the friend zone. There's an episode that was out where we discussed something, and I will bring it back and tie it into why we're discussing the friend zone today. But to get back to your question, Jagero, wait, you said I'm on my period. I am. I was trying to remember, how do you know I'm on my period? Then I remember I always make it a point to mention that I'm on my period every time I'm on my period.
You're the only one. Even well, I think you are very open about it, which is weird.
Why is it weird?
Yeah.
Why weird?
It is very weird. Do I know of women who tell me that they are on their periods? I don't know. I don't know even one. Probably just my wife only. But
and your daughter now, she's gonna do that as well.
She's gonna tell me?
Yeah.
No.
Why not?
Why would she tell me?
You're her parents. What do you mean?
I don't think she's gonna tell me. Were you telling your father that you're on period?
I didn't have present fathers, but if I did, I probably would because, you know, we talk about how important men are, and it's really I think it's really important to learn these things from your dad before you can even seek them out in any romantic partners. So your dad should be able to be very present for you, even through like sickness and pain, and teaching you these things. And we've done an episode on periods, and I told you at the end of that episode, make sure you're starting to teach yourself how to have these conversations, because it needs to be
What
normal.
Conversation am I having
about period
around?
Daddy, my back aches, I need you to rub my back for me.
Shit.
Yeah, it should be very, very normal. Daddy, my cramps. Daddy, my cramps are killing me. My stomach, please, I need you to take a walk with me. I need you to get me a hot water bottle. All these things. The reason women are so private about their period is because first of all, it's like taboo to have these conversations because it's made to look like period and period blood is disgusting and dirty, and that's when you're yucky, and that's not a lie. I think it's one of the most powerful things to have to go through every month. And you asked me before we started shooting if I had an option to get rid of my period, if I would. No, I wouldn't.
It's part of your identity?
Yeah, I mean, not really identity, but it makes me feel like a woman. I don't know how to explain it in a way that someone else might understand, but the process, the pain, even when I'm going through the pain, my mom would say, take the medicine, wacha kukaa ukisikia uchungu. But it's not like that I like the pain, but going through the process reminds me just what my body can do and how strong my body can go and how far it can go. So I don't know if I should call it like a badge of honor, but it makes me feel really, really powerful as a woman because...
Badge of honor.
Yeah, I show up smiling when I'm actually dying. And it's just... It is interesting that a human body, you do not have on switch and off switch button. Because I'm thinking for a woman who has decided that they do not want children in their life, and yet you still have to experience this thing as long as it takes. Yeah.
If you can decide at 20 years that you're not going to be having your periods, but then your menses will show up every month for the next 40 years or so. When is the menopause though? 45?
Starts around that's perimenopause.
Peri.
This is
what is perimenopause?
So this is the one before the menopause. There's a lot of similar symptoms that the woman's body goes through, just like in menopause, but it's not menopause. You're still healthy. You can still have a baby and all that, but it's just a lot of things like heat flashes, hormonal imbalances and things like that. So it's crazy. And last week I was actually suffering with depression. And then, the PMDD thing, it keeps happening to me now almost every month. This month was pretty rough.
Remind me of what that is.
Premenstrual dysphoric disorder.
Okay.
Yeah, this is when right before your period, you experience a very deep depression. And it's happened for me.
What is this depression about? Is it like the body's moaning, oh shit, we didn't do it again?
Probably, maybe that's a spiritual or, layman kind of explanation that could pass, I guess. But I really don't know where it comes from, but it's just with all the hormonal changes in the body.
You feel sad.
The drop in, dopamine, the drop in serotonin, hizo zingine zina spike. It's just really, really crazy. The good thing now is that I'm more aware, so I'm able to spot it when it's coming. When I can feel myself falling, I know this is the time to stop. And I've been talking about it on social media, actually, and there's a lady who shared a hack of what she does. So she has been able to arrange her life around her cycle. So in the moments of her cycle where she's feeling sexy, alert, happy, ready to go, that's when she makes sure she does most of her stuff. And then when her body starts slowing down, or the depression starts kicking in, or the period pains and all throughout that, now she's able to rest and slow down and stop working. And being aware like that, inasaidia sana hata vitu kama anxiety. Like something I was struggling with last week was anxiety, income. When you work for yourself and you're not able to get out of bed, you're not going to make any money. Yeah,
it's a terrible feeling, and I think one of these days we need to talk about it.
Yeah.
About the lack of
support.
The anxiety of a man of a man, and when I talk about a man or a human that is not employed, it's sometimes a very, very dark place to be, because you often think I'm relying so much on things I can't see. Like you are doing therapy. Before the booking, it is completely dark.
Yeah.
Before I get a gig to design a website, it's completely dark. Yeah. Before you get anything, it's completely dark. So you really do not know what is going on. The other day, I saw somebody on social media putting up their earnings on Facebook. It was actually 0. because, and I don't know why Facebook usually does this, that some month they just decide not to run ads on your account.
And at what point do they start running ads? Are you eligible for?
You have to have a lot of, a lot. 600,000, I think, watch hours.
Okay, that's crazy.
It's a lot.
Yeah, that's crazy.
600,000 watch hours is a lot of hours. I think they reduced it for the Kenyan content creators, but basically social media do not want to pay anybody. But I find the social media accounts, the classical traditional social media accounts such as Twitter, such as Facebook, such as Instagram and TikTok, they are very notorious because they even come up with qualified views. TikTok actually comes up with qualified views. You can have 10 million views, but they will only say that the qualified views is only 2 million.
Why do they do that?
They keep doing that to mess around with you and to refuse to pay you. And they can come up with any reason not to pay for that.
Yeah.
Like I'm still so pissed off at the fact that there are 2 videos that did cumulatively around 5.6 million on our Facebook account, and Facebook never ran any ads on it. But also you can't tell whether they ran the ads or not because you, as the creator, you can't see ads on your own videos, so you can't even tell.
Okay.
They're just telling you that they did not run videos or ads on it. But how about if they ran?
And are you able to ask? Are you able to?
No, there is zero support.
Or like petition or something?
Zero. You can't. Like, take what we have given you because you don't deserve it. We have given it anyway, and walk, or we will restrict your account.
Oh my goodness!
They are. It is very draconian and very dictatorial.
Yeah.
I think banks and social media are very dictatorial places to be. You know?
It's true. Oh my goodness. I'm consistently, especially with love and orgasms, consistently struggling like with being shadow banned and my work being suppressed. I have to, like I was actually, what's it called when they stop you from participating on Facebook? You can't comment on stuff.
Yeah, see, anything. restricted your activity.
Yeah. I posted an article this week. It's called The Broke Politician, where I talk about a broke politician that I dated. And one of the cover pictures of the article was something, well, it's not nude, but it's something alluding to nudeness. And
what were they wearing?
I'll show you the picture. But I was restricted because they said I was posting, sexual activity. Fair. But you see, my issue is they need to find out, are you posting educational sexual content or are you posting porn?
Yeah.
I think there should be a difference.
The problem is, again, AI, because AI does not have context.
It's just flagging.
Yeah, AI does not have content. And you see, it's very problematic because sex is part of life. Those people, I mean, why would we not talk about sex on Facebook in a certain way?
When I post on Instagram, I'll get 10 likes. On my normal story views, crazy, thousands. When I post anything to do with my blog or my website, 14 likes, 10 likes. So I'm wondering, okay, guys, I wish you guys would, I've appealed and I've tried to communicate and tell them, hey, if you guys could take time and check and just see what I'm posting is, I'm actually trying to educate people on this stuff.
I have fought with YouTube, but YouTube have realized that this guy is just talking about, is also talking about relationships and sex.
Yeah.
And so even if I put porn on my title, they will still just monetize it because they've sort of, because I think what social media does, especially YouTube is very good at it, that they can track what you talk about for a very long time.
Why can't they apply these things on Facebook?
Because they are different. They are very different. They're very different. Facebook started with text and images. Remember?
Yes.
They're only coming into video. And so if you're talking about masturbation, they don't want to monetize
they don't
it.
Care.
But
anyway, sour. It's a real conversation. So we did a video last time where I was talking about, where you told me and you, do you see the comments where people are saying, but I don't roll in the couch, around in the couch with you. I want us to talk a bit about the comments on that video. So there's a point where I was describing this guy that I have been seeing on and off for a while, and about how we hang out and we do not have sex with each other. We just spend time, you know, and cuddle and laugh and talk and eat and just do other normal things. As I was talking, actually, I was recording an episode on the Love and Orgasms podcast about intimacy, and I was talking about the different levels of intimacy. So when we talk about intimacy, the first thing that people think about is physical intimacy, sex. But we fail to think about, you know, emotional intimacy or mental intimacy. Other things that stimulate your relationship, like parallel play, you guys just hanging out with each other and talking to each other and holding hands and cooking together. All these things constitute, you know, parts of a relationship. But I've realized that this audience on Facebook primarily, other places I've not seen people say these things, but when I talk about how I truly enjoy the intimacy of just hanging out with each other and cuddling and kissing and talking without any sex, the comments start, "Oh, Jama, he's gay. That guy, he's in the friend zone. That guy, he's going to attend this lady's wedding." Because it seems like too good to be true. People are not believing a man and a woman can just hang out with each other and not have sex with each other. So I want to ask you, where do you think this notion comes from? Why do you think people are thinking like this? Or why largely this is the thought process of a lot of people, especially in Kenya?
Most of the people that are talking like that are men, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course.
Because men don't do those things. Men do not roll around, as I said, on the sofa with women and not want to have sex. It's very weird. It is you that does not want to have that sex. It's not the man. Unless something is fundamentally wrong with that man, I think it would not happen. It does not happen. It will never happen. And it has to be the weirdest thing for a man to do, sitting with you, chatting with you, cooking together with you, watching you with you. You know you series with you, with those towels being wrapped around and with all those the whole time. I don't think it is. I don't think it is possible. So
why though?
But for women I don't know about women, but women could perhaps get some kind of nice experience through touch that do not end into sex. But I don't think a lot of men would do that because I don't know, we get horny pretty fast, and there is what are you gonna do with your horniness for the rest of the movie?
Kwani sisi, what do we do with our horniness? I
hear that you guys can control it pretty well. That and in any case, you guys don't have like aches during horniness. You know, men have got physical aching when they are horny.
I feel like you're making this up.
I'm not making this up. When you have an erection inside your trousers, an erection has to stand like 90 degrees. An erection is 90 degrees. You understand? It's like 90 degrees. Like these are the legs, and then there's 90 degrees like that. Okay. You can imagine continuing to roll on the sofa at 90 degrees. It's not happening. It is not happening. It's very painful. The blood is flowing to your extremities. It is not possible to do that. So if this guy is rolling around with you on the sofa and not having an erection, then he's a mangler guy. He doesn't have something to write home about. First of all, if he's not getting an erection, then what is going on there?
Oh my God.
Yeah, so he's going to have the erection.
Yeah.
And what does he do with the erection? Erections are very painful when it does not end up in sex. Very painful because there is an outward, something is protruding outwards, and it is very difficult. Once a man is erect, then he should be naked. It's true. Ask all the men in this room.
Do you agree with
Yes.
Do you agree?
Once you are erect, you need to be naked.
Oh,
because
my
you
God.
can imagine the phallus when it's erect and a boxer is trying to force it to a certain direction. You can see it on the trouser, right? You can see it on the trouser, going down. It is so painful at that. It is so painful when that is happening. When a man is an erected state and he's inside a boxer or inside a jeans trouser, it is the most painful thing. It hurts. So that he's still rolling with you on the sofa.
Okay, so I can't really say that we have aches, like from being very, very horny and ready to fuck, but I can say that I don't know if that we're better at controlling ourselves, but generally I find people who have self-discipline like way more sexier.
Men.
Anyone, even a woman, someone who's just able to say, hey, today we are watching a movie, regardless of what happens, whether we get horny or what. If we said we're watching a movie, we're watching a movie. If there was the intention to have sex after or during the movie, then fine.
I do not recommend as a woman that you do those things with a man. It might end in sex that you never wanted to have, and that is where you begin to blur the line between rape and consensual sex. But
that's crazy though.
Yes, it's crazy. It's crazy because at some point, the man just loses himself completely. And I think as a woman, you don't want to have a man that has lost himself in his erection world. Yeah. It's a dangerous place to be as a man. So asking a man that is on full erection to control himself is a very bad ask. You stay away.
You know what?
You stay away.
Yeah, I won't argue.
Yeah.
I believe you. I believe you. And okay, fine. I agree. I'll take what you're saying. Yeah, because there's no need for someone, especially me, to be, or a woman to be in a position where they're having sex they don't want to.
Yeah.
And you see, in that, if I give an example of that situation, it's not they're not having sex wasn't coming from me entirely. Me, I was horny. Me ningemdinya kusema ukweli, but him being able to keep his word, that's what I think was just.
But the reason why he goes numb and does not do anything because he's thinking about repercussions. Yeah, the repercussions are huge. So
it's a fear thing. It's not even a I want to respect you thing.
It could border on fear. Yeah, because
okay.
It could border on fear actually that this might end up really, and we know the women of these days, when you spike them and they go online and talk about it, who is gonna be believed? Because they say online that you believe women.
Okay, but it doesn't mean the story is a lie. If I have sex I didn't want to do, it doesn't mean I'm lying, and it doesn't mean
what we do not talk about is, and this is a dangerous ground actually.
Let's talk about it.
That's where I'm going is very dangerous.
Yeah, let's talk
because
about
the contribution of that situation is crazy. And sometimes you find there is this conversation of what did you do when they ask women that question. It's a very unfair question to ask.
Yeah.
But actually, the person who is in that situation should be able to answer that question. Even if people are saying that you shouldn't ask a woman that has been raped what was your contribution towards it. It's a very unfair question. But where you are as a woman, I heard somebody saying that in every situation, there should be responsibility taken. You have to take responsibility for what has happened. And so there are unfortunate events, like for example, an accident that happens, and we found out that somebody was driving while drunk. You see, they are dead. We cannot laugh and go about laughing and saying that you can't.
Why were you drunk?
Yeah, fuck you. You can't do that.
Yeah.
So and those things are in other areas of life.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So are you saying as women we should remove it from our heads, the idea that men can be our friends, 1. 2, that we cannot hang out with them in the confines, especially of their homes, without them wanting to fuck us.
No.
Because, no, wait.
Okay,
first.
go ahead.
Because every time this conversation comes up, that's how I think, and it shocks me because, and that's why I say I won't argue, because you're speaking as a man and you're telling me how men reason. And it's valid. It's not for me to say, why would you do that? But because it has happened to me so many times. I've been in situations where I did not want to have sex and sex happened, and I'd leave asking myself, did I really want to do that?
Okay.
And it's because sasa yo pacha responsibility. Of course, I think nilijipeleka. Ni mimi nilienda kwa hiyo nyumba, alinipigia na mimi nikajipeleka. But you see, still, sex was not the intention. When you tell me, Bobbie, come, let's have dinner, for me, it's let's have dinner.
Okay.
Unless we have had that discussion. Unless we have talked about, I'm interested, or if you come, this is a possibility. If we've not discussed, we're not having sex, then we're not having sex, you get. But every time, like I said, this conversation comes up, the men always say, don't put yourself in that situation, first of all, and don't do it. And I'm like, okay, sawa, but what does that leave us?
So
it leaves us in a space where I can't come to your house. I can't be your friend, because if I come, you will want to fuck me.
No. Let's put the oranges away from the apples.
Okay.
And draw particular serious lines about it. If you came to my house to watch a movie, all right, and we did not do things that take us to that dangerous ground of me having an erection suddenly, okay? If you came to my house, we watched a movie, we were in the kitchen, I'm not spanking your ass. You are not spanking my ass in the...
Your men could get hard from just looking at you.
Well, that is on them. We are talking about specifics.
Okay, sawa.
Right? Yes,
Sawa.
we are talking about specifics. I, as a man, it would be very difficult for me to jump on a woman just by looking at her. At that point, I think as a man, I will control myself. By her coming to my house and her looking fine, I will suck it up. Okay? That is, and then we can sit on a sofa set and watch a movie and talk as friends.
Okay.
Uko pale, niko pale.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
That's fine. You are taking your wine, I'm taking my wine. Okay? Let's not start dancing to rumba and you starting gyrating on my pelvic. Okay?
Okay.
We are going down the slippery slope.
Okay.
Okay? Don't start putting your legs on top of my thighs. All right? This is me talking from the point of a man.
Yeah.
Okay? Don't sleep on my chest. And as we are watching the movie, and start stroking me. Not even stroking my penis, but just stroking me in any way. Okay. I think that is now a slippery slope. And men always look at actions and see actions.
Also, they're taking that as like an invite.
Yes.
Or like a cue.
Yes.
Proceed.
Yesterday, I saw something at an event where I was, at a corner. This guy, we were with him, he went towards this lady and talked in Luo. Luos can go when they want to talk dirty, they go Luo. It's pretty dirty. And she talked about the ass of that woman, and then went and hugged her and really brought her close. And the way this lady looked at him,
it was like a yes, daddy, take me.
you see, it was really telling. Even me, I was not hugging. Yeah. I could sense.
You felt it.
But probably that woman just wanted that hug, that hold. She didn't want to go and have sex in the washroom. No. But what about the man? There is already a
different signals are sending different messages.
Yes. And I do not think that women can really have a nice time on your chest without really wanting more. Just that.
Yeah.
Hold me, care for me. Just that.
Yeah.
Sindio?
Yeah.
But men, the moment you come close and you're a woman and your boobs are pricking his chest, something happens, starts happening immediately. Hata kwa event.
Okay.
So there is that difference. So I think that as a woman, you want to protect yourself in a way. You are saying, I don't want to do things that will take us down this slippery slope and we can't climb back.
Okay.
And when this starts, I am on the losing end. Because you have told me that men are strong. You are the one who has told me men are strong. They can pin you down. They can do this. Or a man insisting that, okay, now you have given me this erection, at least masturbate me. You don't want to do that. You see, now, and then, friendships zinaribika, by the way, after that.
You've explained it really, really well. Because what I've gathered is that it's not necessarily that anyone is wrong. It's just that we understand things differently, even in a sexual language way. So it's really important for you to make sure you're not putting each other like in compromising situations. And I think that's valid.
Yeah.
I think that but for the longest time, I think just for my safety, I was talking about I like people who are self-disciplined, because it always comes across in everything they do, not just even before you know how they are sexually or in bed. You'll see how they run their day-to-day life, how they work, how they speak, how they show up, how they are as a person. And I think even being in that situation, then I'm sorry if I'm the one who put him in that situation, but even in that situation, for someone to be able to stand up and walk away and say, we spoke about this, you told me if you're not ready, and not push me, not coerce me, not even try to sleep with me, it just makes me feel, oh wow, it's nice to be around such a person, because it's not about even me, it's just who they are as a person.
And I think this idea of going to each other's houses and you're just the two of you.
Where do you want us to go, Jagero?
No, I am not. I am just thinking aloud.
Okay.
I'm just thinking aloud. Yeah, this idea of might it be wiser to go with another friend of yours or a group of 2 friends, 3 friends? I know that crazy thing can still happen even when you go in a group.
Yeah, like orgies.
Not orgies. You can still go upstairs.
Oh yeah.
And have the same situation.
Yeah.
Because you are drunk or something is and I think as a woman it is very difficult for you to second guess a man. Like a man in the street is very different from a man off the street. And I think a lot of us of you guys sometimes do not really know the primal nature of a man. And I don't know whether this is negative. I don't know whether this is positive. I don't know whether this is a bad thing. But generally, there are situations I don't want to be in, even as a man, going into a woman's house and you like her a lot. It's a dangerous thing to do. It's really dangerous. Especially not knowing what she's going to cook for you. She's going to cook for you really good. And the whole afternoon is going to be really, 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 really soapy and very welcoming.
You know what I think?
Yeah.
I think then this is the part where then we employ clear communication. I mean, let's just remove the gray areas. Let's stop guessing. Let's stop acting like we're friends and we want to fuck. Like, let's just be honest with each other and say, hey, even these cues for ati, sikuja nikupikie, don't leave it at that. Like, just be honest with each other about me cooking for you means I really, really like you and I'm trying to suck your balls after this.
Yes, and those conversations are very difficult.
It's difficult, but it's reaching a point I feel like we need to do it.
Do you feel like you would want to, if I asked you to come to my house or your friend who is a man, a single man, ask you to go to their houses, do you think you can tell them that yes, I would like to come, but I don't want us to do anything. Do you think you do that?
Yes, because first of all, before the information you've taught me today, or even after this, I don't go to men's houses that I do not intend to fuck. That's my... I don't go to men's houses. Have you ever heard me saying I'm in a man's house? Ever since you met me? Just once and maybe twice. My ex-boyfriend and this story. But I never really in men's houses. I don't go to men's houses because I know that I already understand what the undertone of that could be. So if just a random jama or just a friend asks me, Bobbie, can you come to my house? What am I coming to do?
We also have a lot of women that are luring men into their houses these days. Our mama wenye wako na pesa wako na ufunguo ya gari hawa. They are dangerous.
How do they ingiza you box?
You just go to their houses and they will sleep with you.
What's the context? How are you going to a woman's house? What's the conversation like?
Just the way you want to go to, pass by. Pass by, let's have stories or whatever. Na I'm a kujamo. In Luo we say ojami. She's like, I will, and if it is the woman who wanna do it, it is the easiest.
Yeah, because it's happening 100%.
It is. Because when it starts on you, there is no stopping. Yeah, that slope is very quick.
Is the sexual innuendo usually there? Like if a woman is saying, if I say, Jagero, come nikupikie. For you, is it registering as lazima tudinyane?
Not necessarily, but you can pick up a scent. You can pick up a scent. I think you can pick up a scent, and also, for a man, there is he doesn't have a lot of preparations in the head to have sex. You doesn't have to be yes, and even him having sex with you and driving off does not leave him with anything like it would leave a woman. The emotions are different. Like it is really outward. It is just ejaculation.
It's just sex.
Yeah, just ejaculation. Yeah. I think some people will think about it, but men mostly would just do it. And I don't think it is nice from women because it is.
Why don't you think it's nice?
No, it's not a nice thing because this is a man that really you're taking advantage of him. Yeah, you're basically taking advantage of him when they go to your house and they did not want to, and you know that men are not going to go out there and say that they were raped. I remember. This is a very funny thing. I remember the first time that I was almost raped by a woman. Was once we went to an event with my cousin really laughed about it after long. I don't know why he felt it was.
Were you confused?
No, like we went to this house in Kilimani. It had so many. It was a big compound with so many rooms and stuff like that, and so there were just these cougars all over the place. Women in their 45, 50 that have money and I don't know what's going on there, type of thing. And this lady, she offered me a drink first and I wasn't drinking because of a good Christian I am. And she was just weird the whole time and she wanted me to go to this room, to that room and talk and chat. And I just felt like this is crazy. And I have always had this crazy fear about HIV and AIDS.
Yes.
Yeah. And I it's something that happened in Kisumu when I was growing up. It's something that is in Nyanza, and
it's big in our community.
I don't want to be taking those pills every day. So I sort of repelled her, and then when I was with my cousin, we were coming out of that place. And my cousin sort of knew that these are just cougars that want to sleep with with young men, So if she had had slept with me there, I would not have gone out and said that I was. It would just be a trauma that is eating me from the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that you brought, the side of the man.
Yeah.
Because that's something we also never really think about. When women have sex with men, when men don't want to have sex. It's not something actually we talk about a lot, but it's something that happens, right?
Yeah, and the other question that people are saying, that can you really have an erection in a forced sex? Of course you have an erection.
Yeah.
When somebody starts touching you in a certain way, even you don't like it,
Yes.
you get an erection
Yeah.
most of the time.
Yeah.
And when that erection is fully blown, like I said, it's difficult to go back. And so it's easier to, so I think it just affects men as much as it affects women in one way or the other. And I think for a man, it's a big shame.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Because then if there's so many men walking around with these feelings that they don't even talk about or
Yeah.
they don't even express, they didn't even know it's a problem or something to talk about, because like when they express themselves, it's people laugh at them, like the way your cousin was laughing at you, but it's not really funny. It's actually,
Yeah, and men have this idea that if a woman offers you sex, you should take it. And it's not a very, very cool thing. I think it is sort of a broken mentality
yeah.
to expect that you can have sex with any woman.
Yes, I agree.
I think so, because there are just women you don't want to have sex with in whatever way, and it's and something about men is that in the heat of it becomes really bad after, because it is your erection that took you there and nothing else.
So now the post-nut clarity starts setting in.
Yeah,
like,
it's bad, and you feel like your power has been taken away from you by somebody who is weaker than you in a way, and it makes you really angry.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you, to be honest, I walk around without, I don't know if I should say this. Oh my God, it'll make me look so evil.
Yeah.
But the truth is, I hardly ever consider men's feelings. When I'm doing things, how I guess I just shut it off a long time ago, because I realized men also don't consider my feelings when they're doing things. So I just do my thing. If it hurts a man, I'm not going to go out of my way to hurt a man's feelings. But if I do something and it makes a man feel some type of way, I never really think, oh my God, he's hurt somewhere. But now that you're speaking, I'm thinking, my goodness, there's so many men walking around. I've never had sex with someone when they don't want to, but I'm just thinking, all these men who've been in this situation, and this is how they feel. So they can actually understand when we are also saying that's how we feel.
Yeah.
But then, why is it still happening? Like, why do we keep doing this to each other? This is so crazy to me. Even when I go to the comments and I see people talk about, when I try to talk about honorable men or, respectful men, or how men have been good to me and how they treat me really, really well, there's always someone who'll say, oh, Charlie ako chini, oh, Charlie, he's in the friend zone. And I'm trying to bring it back into the conversation. Men being in the friend zone, or men and women putting each other in this friend zone. What does a friend zone mean to you, and what exactly does it look like? And why is it that when a man is not trying to have sex with me actively, automatically he's been put in the friend zone? Kwani kila saa lazima tudinyane? See, we can just... So what is it about the friend zone? What is a friend zone?
I don't know what a friend zone is actually, but what I think it is that
what do you think other people think a friend zone is?
You thought that this is a woman that you could have something with, and you're very close, but she doesn't think like that about you. She's not probably attracted to you sexually, or she's not attracted to you economically. She's not attracted to you in one way or the other. But sometimes you are of use to her in one way or the other. She can buy the but you really don't want to sleep with him. But
so you mean he can buy the dinners?
Yeah, he can buy the dinners. He can come through. He can do some things for you. But But also in my head, I am thinking that a woman can realize that this guy likes me, I don't like him back, but I can capitalize on him liking me. Once I capitalize on him liking me and doing certain things to me, then he can be there in the back burner doing those things while I chase the men that I like. Okay? So he's just there. And sometimes I feel like some people might think that there is something going on between the two of you. But the truth is, there is none. There is just you being there. Or you are really good friends with no sexual attraction, but he's attracted to you. And you don't want to mess the friendship by going around with him. And sometimes it does not look good. People looking at you, treating him like that, saying that you have put him in the friend zone. But you were friends even before this idea of sex came about.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Friends from school, friends from church, and you really, really like his company, but not that way.
Okay.
But people looking at it are like, okay, she has friend zoned him. Him looking at your relationship and seeing how you are dubious about the other side that he wants is saying that you have friend zoned him.
Okay.
Right? So I think, and I'm not sure about it, I think you can friend zone somebody, but somebody can also friend zone himself or themselves.
That's what that was going to be my next question.
Yeah.
Because umeniexplainia vizuri sana.
Yeah.
So, but as you're speaking, I'm thinking all these notions are happening either in the man's head.
Yeah.
Or in the people who are watching from the outside's head.
Yes.
Because if you look at it, what you've described is just friendship.
Yeah.
It's just friendship. Like, it's just basic friendship. Because even if this was not a man, if this guy was not a man, say it's two women.
Yeah.
As women, these are things we do for each other. Like on a normal basis. My friend pays for dinner. Tomorrow I'll pay for dinner. Or my friend pays for dinner all the time. But as women, it will never come up that, Roberta mi ulipia dinner kila saa, because we're friends. Like maybe my friend's strength is in something else. Maybe she cooks in the house for me. Or she just gives me company.
And then
it doesn't have to be an exchange of things.
The other thing, that is where I think the women now are blamed for it, is because this man is doing these things for you as who? When just hear me. Just hear me.
Okay.
You are going out and he's the one who is always paying. Why is he always paying and he's just your friend? Okay? Why are you allowing it to happen? Because then it is kind of a stringing them along.
I don't see it like
yes,
that. Yes,
you get into the other person's head.
I don't see it like that.
Yes,
because I said even if you replace that guy with a woman, that's how our relationships run as women.
No,
most of the time.
No.
Okay,
I see women going to restaurant, and when the time for bills come, every woman whips out their wallet.
Okay, let me finish my point.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me speak for myself.
Okay.
With my friends.
Okay, Bobbie.
With my friends.
Okay, Bobbie.
With
what a wonderful friends you have.
With my friends, you know, something I've learned along the line of friendships, this is something I didn't know. This is something I've learned along the way. I mean, of course, we split bills, whatever, all those things that are encompassed in friendship. And this goes across board, not just in my friendships with women, even in my friendships with the men that I'm friends with. It's not a thing of Nani does this all the time. Sometimes it's Nani wants to do this all the time. Someone looking from outside will wonder, how come all the time they're going out, they drive Bobbie's car? How come it's always Bobbie who drives? How come Bobbie saya gari, hakuna mtu mwingine utoa gari yake, ni Bobbie tu anakujanga na gari yake? But you don't know the dynamics of that relationship, especially if you're watching from the outside. You might think that I am aggrieved because I'm always the designated driver. But really, I just drive because maybe I don't drink alcohol and I can take care of people better. I can be in charge of the car, yeah? I realize that men pin a lot of importance on their money and a lot of, they pin their personalities and their egos a lot on their earnings or their net worth and things like that. But even if I replace this guy with a woman, in my relationships with even my mother, if we go out to lunch and my mom pays, then we go out tomorrow and she pays, and then she go the other days and she pays. You might say, oh, she's your mom. Of course she's your mom. She's older than you, she'll pay. Or she's your mom, she'll pay. But on a friendship level, I don't think we ever sit and think, how come mommy pays the bills all the time? Because we're friends, it doesn't matter. Everyone has different strengths. Now, coming back to my earlier point, everyone has different strengths in a relationship. And I've realized most times, instead of trying to expect what you give, you can be explicit with it and say, hey, I like it when Bobbie drives me. But also, instead of sitting and expecting that one person is doing something, you guys can just be open about the dynamics of your relationship and say, and see each other's strengths and allow people to rest in their strengths, because people show love and receive love in different ways. I have a friend who, when she comes to my house, she'll come with a little shopping, but she does all the cooking. I love to cook. I love to cook for my friend. I love, love, love when my friends come and they chill and I do everything. I cook all the meals. But this specific friend of mine, she never gives me a chance to cook. So anytime we're hanging out, I'll sit back and I'll let her cook. It's not because someone watching, like if you were a third guest and you came and found us, and every time you visit, we're together, and then you see this girl is always cooking in Bobbie's house. Every time she's around, she's always cooking. She cooks all the meals. Watching from outside, you might think, what's wrong with that relationship? But me and this friend of mine, we understand our dynamics. You get? So even if you bring a man now in this situation, this man is paying for everything. He's taking me all these things. If we've not had the explicit discussion that, hey, I like you, I want to fuck you, and that's why I'm doing these things for you, then how can I tell you to stop? How can I tell you to... It's almost as if he's doing these things because he's expecting a return from me. But that's not how friendships work. If you want to drive all the time or cook for me all the time or pay for the meals all the time, I love it. I love it. I enjoy it. Thank you for showing me the friendship. Thank you for loving me in the way you love to love. Perfect. But if it comes where it's starting to become conditional and you express to me that you've been paying for things and I'm not reciprocating because you think I'll kiss you or you think we'll have sex, then there I'm able to say, Jagero, don't pay for my meals.
Bobbie, I hope that you are enjoying that episode, people of the internet. Everybody says there is no job, and that is true. Also, that was me 10 years ago. The problem is that everybody is trying to get a job in their own town, in their own city, in their marketplace. They ask friends for jobs, mothers call uncles, uncles call fathers, but there are no jobs, right? Let me tell you what no one is telling you. Jobs migrated online. What I actually mean is there are many, many jobs around the world and there is no one to do them. I have worked for a long time online, I think more than 10 years. I work for Americans, I work for Europeans, I work for the Chinese, the Australian, Canadians, the Ugandans, name all of them. And last year, I had a eureka moment. I said to myself, you know what? I should compile what I have been doing for the last 15 years. So in 2024, I wrote a book called Gold Mine, 18 Side Hustles for Africans. And it sold a lot of copies. In fact, sometimes I was receiving 500 orders in a day. In 2025, something happened. AI came. I think in 2025, AI came. AI came in 2024, but in 2025, it is here with us. And people say AI is taking away their jobs. And for me, I'll say false. There are actually AI jobs. Now, mimi ni nani? I created more jobs. We now have in my book 25 online and offline side hustles that you can do anywhere in the world, whether you are in the village, whether you are in your small town, whether you're in a marketplace, whether you are in your house, you can do them. In this powerful volume 2, I share 25 new actionable online hustles specifically researched and tailored for Africans. My new book provides clear step-by-step guidance, drawing from my extensive experience and research, including the mistakes I have made and lessons I have learned over 15 years in this online job market. You can become an executive assistant to busy folks in Europe, America, and Canada. You can also get paid for tasks like watching videos and taking online surveys. There are many of them and they're in my book. You can also build a business as a virtual assistant, start an e-commerce without a shilling. You can also become an affiliate marketer or an online English tutor. And you can also do tens of AI jobs, and they're all in these books. If you have a job, that is fine, but I know around you there are so many people that are always looking for jobs and at home watching Netflix. Buy this book for your brother, for your sister, for your mother, cousin, husband, who is back at home all day, all night watching Netflix. Okay? Buy it for your friend, that friend who is always asking you for cash. You can buy this book for them. All the information is in the description below. You can also inbox me, you can WhatsApp me, or you can go to my website, which is oduorjagero.co.ke. The book is only 1,000 Kenya shillings. Or if you're anywhere around the world, the book is $10. So thank you very much. Back to programming.
Them alone.
Bobbie, so now you've said that, I think there is a reason why we are called adults. And the reason why we are called adults is because adulthood comes with maturity.
Absolutely.
And maturity comes with wisdom.
Absolutely.
And wisdom means that you're using all your senses in any type of situation. Okay? And this goes back to each and every person every party in this conversation. Because one of the things is that the male friends of this man might hate Bobbie for stringing their friends along and friend zoning him because because they are seeing how the friend has been treating you in a manner that suggests that there is something going on, which they are not party to. And when they go watching football and they are saying, "How is your girlfriend, Bobbie?" And you are telling them that
she's not my girlfriend.
And they're like, no.
Yeah.
Huyu msichana na kutumia vibaya. You talked. Man, they speak during and it's very embarrassing chat, by the way. Because when sometimes we are in a car, the five of us, and we are talking about a woman in your life in a certain way. And men have got very big words for these things. They can really crush you, by the way. Okay? So when you say that he's not your girlfriend, that she's not my girlfriend, that they're seeing all these things that you have been doing, even when they're in a group dinner and the lady is not paying, you are covering for her and you're doing all these things. Okay? So now, you see, they start to blame you that you're stringing along their guy. Okay? And whether the man is agreeing with them or not, but if he wants, is in the back of his mind, he's thinking that maybe all these things I'm doing is trying to marinate her. Is trying to get her to like me.
So if the friends are thinking it or him?
Him. He's thinking that all these things he is doing is so that he can marinate you, he can box you in. And then the guards can go down and you start, warming up to him and saying, okay, maybe I can have these as a boyfriend. All that is not being said properly and explicitly, and for good reasons, because humans, there is a way human connections happen. They are very gradual. Sometimes you really can't quicken them. Okay? All right? So now, this guy is doing these things instead of just calling you out and telling you that, by the way, I would like us to try this thing out. You understand?
Then he's getting mad at me.
Him and his friends are getting mad at you. Ultimately, when you decide that, no, Jagero, Mimi have not been looking at it like that.
Yeah.
Okay? So, this is completely on the man. You can see that how it is completely on the man.
Yeah.
Let's come back to the woman now.
Yes.
I started by saying that we are both adults.
Yes.
Adulthood comes with maturity. Maturity comes with wisdom. Wisdom comes with using all your senses. And as a woman who is grown up, who is post-university, you know, you can talk, you can see men, you can interpret these things. So now, you are claiming that this guy is just generous.
Because that's how men treat me, Jagero.
Men are generous to a particular point. Men do not just want to pay for everybody. They do not want to take care of everybody. All right? 1 or 2 times, whenever, if I am your friend, most likely I'll be paying most of the bills. But there is a place I stop and say, okay, now it is you to take care of those things. All right? Because we are just friends.
Yes.
All right?
Yes.
So now, I think it is in the wisdom of the woman to read the room. And sometimes you can even offer yourself and ask, hey, this thing, what is going on here? Jagero, unanionanga aje? Listen. I think that is the height of maturity. When you talk to a man that you are seeing, vile nakuja, and you don't want the route, to take that route with him, to ask him.
What I think?
Can you ask? I'm asking you a very straight question.
Yeah.
You don't want this sexual relationship. You want it to be friends. You can see what this man is doing to you every now and again, and you're saying, this is past being a friend. There is a place he's going, and I'm not going there. The question I'm asking you, can you stop on your tracks and have a conversation with this man?
You know what I've realized as you're speaking? Either then I've been living very dangerously, or I'm very oblivious, or I trust men too much. Because my experiences might not be like other women's. But to be honest, men are very generous to me. Men who have not slept with me, men who are not trying to sleep with me. That's why when I listen to you speak, it's like you might think maybe I'm dumbing it down, but it's actually scratching my brain in ways like, okay, so anytime I receive something from a man, there's that backhanded thought that at the end I'll win this girl. Then you know where it pushes me to? It's putting me then in a place where I have to be cautious with anything I'm accepting from any man.
Not all the time.
Because men have not done that to me.
Not all the time, Bobbie. But you are also
then how am I going
you are also oblivious and trying to be dubious in a way that listen. Let me atwendi mahali. Let me tell you, Bobbie. Do you think yourself as a beautiful woman?
I do.
Yes. Do you think you're sexy?
I
looking?
do.
Yes. Do you think that men will want to sleep with you?
Of course.
Aha. So, look. No, look.
Cheki.
My friend. Even the men around me and you have told me so many things about your body. Okay? Nipatie huyo msichana Jagero. Weekend moja tu. You.
Basi, I've been living in a bubble.
How many messages I haven't forwarded to you? There are very many. Because I just know that this message is about asking for Bobbie's body for a weekend.
Yeah.
All right? And I know that if I forward some of those messages, it's going to be very chaotic for me and for our relationship and everything. All right? So I would rather men just go and look for you and find your number, uko mali wanaweza pata, but not through me. You understand? So that is what I am saying, is that there is a lot of things that, like I've said, we have to be mature as people. I have been friend-zoned by women, by women. For whatever reason, I did not interrogate further. But women will, in my experience, they will friend-zone you because they don't think that you look like you will give them beautiful children or intellectual children, or they're looking at you, then they are not seeing a future with you. You are not primal enough. You cannot take care of their young ones.
Yeah.
You are not going to be the man that is going to buy them to have a 4-bedroom flat in Syokimau. You are not that type of man. You are not that type of man that she's gonna be very happy with when she goes out on a weekend trip. Wewe unakuja huko na crown yako inatoa mochi. So
today was supposed to be a lesson on friend zone, but I've learned more about men than
and the men also are here. They are listening, and they're gonna say what they think. Because for me, when I know my experience, I know my body as a man. I know the way I think as a man. I know all those things, and I think men always think very close to the same way, the same way. And that is why, like, you become a pastor is having a girl who is 25 years that he claims to be mentoring, and then he sleeps with them in his office. You see,
because he's just a man.
Naisema vibaya sana.
No. By the way,
no, I'm not gonna put it like that. My job on this podcast is also to protect men.
Yeah. Okay. Let me explain.
Okay.
The undertone of this conversation is not what men are doing is wrong, or the fact that women are oblivious is stupid.
Yes.
That's not the
Yes,
undertone.
exactly.
The undertone is we are different.
Very.
We're different, and we're talking about it so that we can be honest about it.
Yeah.
And that's why I said I won't argue. I'm listening and I'm accepting. I believe you, Jagero. Everything you said about men and how you've explained it, I believe it. I'm not walking away from this conversation with, oh my God, men are evil. Why do they do that? Or, women are evil. Why, women are stupid. Why are they doing that?
Yeah, exactly.
That's not how I'm walking away from this. It's more of like, okay, I just need to be more aware so that I don't put myself in harmful situations, thinking very naively, because to be honest, I haven't been around men who've, wanted to violate me like that. And I try to have the honest conversations beforehand. Like, let's talk about it. Yeah. Let's talk about this movie. Does it mean sucking of balls, or is it just a movie?
Yeah, somebody said that that you should be given a certificate on vulgarity. We should be given a certificate on vulgarity. Why do they think that talking about the penis, the vagina, the pussy, the what? It's vulgar. It's not normal. What is vulgar?
They call it vulgar because they want us to pretend and talk like, how thou art you. Or they want us to talk and pretend like these are not real words that we use on a normal day. But I think it's normal conversations. How many people speak like this? I mean, not cussing all the time, but just having real conversations and mentioning this is a penis and balls are sucked. These are conversations that we should be having.
Yeah.
So I love this conversation that we've
And also something that I also wanted to say in defense to women is that in my experience, I've realized that women really, really love being taken care of. And therein might be the problem. Okay? That you love being taken care of, which is really, really good. I am assuming if you're a woman. But then also, you should be actively thinking about it from all these things that are coming to you. Why are they always coming to you? And what does it mean for me as a woman when men are sending me flowers to my house, and the following day another man is sending me a flower? So I have got 4 flowers from different men. I think that it's a good thing, fundamentally, traditionally. But then I think that how you become a better person is asking yourself hard questions about all these flowers.
What does it mean?
Yeah. What does it mean?
Why is he sending these flowers?
What does it mean for me? Where is the safety in all these things? If a man is sending me 40,000 to my M-Pesa, okay, and he doesn't tell me anything. I mean, in my head as a man, I don't send 40,000 to a woman like that. Okay, so I think it looks good, it sounds good, and the M-Pesa balance looks better. Okay, but the other question is that why? Is he sending me this money? All right? Is there going to be a time when I'm going to find myself with him and he's
having
going
to pay back.
Having to pay back that 40,000? Because he has been sending me, by the way, for a long time. Now 8 months, he has sent me maybe 450,000. And then I go to his house and he cooks dinner and we start watching a movie. And then now he has got an erection. And then, Kwani, you can't even masturbate me after giving you 450,000. You see that conversation?
It puts you in a very awkward position.
Yeah. And probably you might want to give him because of that money.
Not because you want
Yeah. And it feels bad when you are in your car going back home and finding out that you have masturbated a man because he has been sending you money. It feels bad, right?
Yes, it does. It does. And I like what you're saying because that's absolutely like the advice any dad would give to their daughter. It's I mean, hey, Jagero, sijui nikuite daddy leo. Thank you, daddy.
Oh my God, do not call me daddy. I hate that word. Damn, I hate it. I feel like it is such a wrong word. Oh my God. The other day, Shaka was calling me and then he calls me Jag and then I had daddy. I was like, Shaka, I'm not your father. I said I called you Jags. I did not say that.
Yeah. Hey, but women, we really need to think about what it means and what it looks like. This friend zone thing, when you're putting someone in the friend zone, you need to be extra careful because like kila kitu tu Jagero amesema, basically mi leo nilikuwa hapa kulan, kila kitu umesema, I truly appreciate everything you shared.
I think men will also say what they think. They don't say a lot, but I think they will also say a lot about this issue because I think at the end of it, it is you protecting yourself. As a man, you are not giving things and expecting things in return that finally you do not get. And when you do not get them, how do you move away? How do you react to it? How do you move from there? What is the kind of revenge that you're going to have on this woman because you now think that she owes you 400,000? Or she owes your flowers that you've been sending for the last I don't know how long? Or you think that whatever she gave you, the several lunches, the several dinners, now you want them back. I have had... So there is a friend of ours that was dating another girl for some time. And then this girl joins him where he is, outside the country. And he was the one doing everything. They're not married. They're just girlfriend and boyfriend. And then they reach the other side and they start having problems in their relationship outside the country. And this girl has had enough and wants to leave. And then this guy says that you have to pay me everything I did. There was no agreement.
How do you refund gifts?
There was no agreement. But you see now the problem.
There was no clear communication. There was
And some of these things even happen in boyfriend. Not even in boyfriend. When you decide to take a woman to school that is not your wife.
Then you kill her because you paid her school fees.
She doesn't like you anymore.
You know, the reason I was having a hard time understanding is the example even I was trying to give is this doesn't happen in female relationships. At least not in mine. We don't hold that over each other's heads. That's why it's so foreign to me. Ati, why did you go to his house?
Bobbie,
I go to my friends' houses.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but now I'm starting to see that, just like we said, that the information, the way we are receiving information is very different.
If a woman calls me to go to her house, I will really think a lot before I go there. Because...
Hey, okay. Mimi ukinikatia, ukinitumia maua, utume note ukisema unanitumia kwa nini? Kwa sababu nimezoea maua kutoka from friends. So kama unanitumia maua ndo unidinya, usitume. Na kama unanitumia pesa ndo unidinya, usitume. I am okay and I am fine without... I just like friendship. I like relationships to flow very organically. If we get there, we get there. When we get there, we get there. If you're not being explicit with your communication, I don't want to start trying to read minds and, think, oh my God, why did he send these flowers? Just staki kuko in that situation. And I'm so glad we had this conversation today, Jagero, because you really opened my eyes. I just keep thinking, my goodness, how oblivious have I been walking around through this art? But guys, thank you so much for joining us throughout the hour. This has been Odor Jagero for Dialogues with Jagero and Roberta Bobbie. I was hosting today. Thank you so much for joining us.
We are on our road to 100,000. So please ask them.
Please subscribe. Keep subscribing. Every time I keep checking the page, naona imeongezeka na 100, 200, 300. So it makes me feel really good. It means you guys are actually checking us out. As you can see from this episode, we also really check. We have about
500,000 views every month. So if only a quarter of them or 10% of them
subscribed to the channel, that would make us really, really happy. Thank you so much for holding on throughout this journey with us. I've really enjoyed this conversation. I hope you have as well. Join us next time.
Bye.